That's a good song. I know I'm like earlier than normal, but whatever. There's no like set time for me to do this, so just do it whenever. That's called throat chakra. I'm probably gonna say her name wrong, but Sharia Wise, Peach KKA, and it's from 2023. But I just started. I was listening to like a gym mix, and that song came on, and I like instantly liked it. As soon as I heard those first couple of sentences, I liked it. So anyway, so this is the beginning of a new week. Yes. I think. Hold up. Yeah, Thursday is May. So May Day. May Day. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna write that on here too. May Day. I think that's where like they do the ribbon around the pole in the yard or something. Let me see if it'll look it up for me. Okay, so May Day. I know you guys have heard that before as far as like celebrations and stuff. And if you haven't, you know you have. It's a public holiday and a European festival of ancient origins, marking the beginning of summer, usually celebrated on May 1st. Its various traditions and religious varieties, such as the maypole dancing, commemorates the historical struggles and gains made by workers in the labor movement. Also, so there's multiple reasons for May Day. They say that washing your face with dew, like the water on your grass, the morning of May 1st would beautify the skin and bring good luck. It's just different belief systems for different people throughout history and all over the world, you know. Like I said, we've all been raised differently. We all have different lives. We have different understandings of the world. Not everybody thinks the same way. And that's okay. That's what makes the world worth living in. Okay. Another word for May Day is military meeting. Meaning. Military meeting? Is it a military meeting right now? I don't know. That was random. In the military. Meaning the term international radio telephone signal word used as a distress call. The Mayday procedure word was conceived as a distress call in the early 1920s by Frederick Stanley Mockford, officer in charge of the radio at Croydon Airport, England. It's an emergency procedure word used internationally as a distress signal in voice procedure radio communications. It's to signal life-threatening emergencies, primarily by aviators. So yeah, that's where that word comes from. A little bit of history and some knowledge there. So typically my Sunday's my Monday, but I'm a slacker and y'all know this shit. So, okay. I'm like really far behind, as usual. But time's a construct. So, let's see what we can get done today. Because sometimes that's all you can do. It's just whatever you can do, right? Until you can do better. And then keep going, because it never ends. That's the great thing about life. You always have a way to change things if you want to. Sometimes. There's certain scenarios and situations where it's not possible, and I understand that, so just saying. I do want to play some like music in the background though, but I don't want it to be like copyrighted, so let's go with some lo-fi jazz, because I know y'all love that. I went from throat chakra to lo-fi jazz. That's funny. My range. I have a wide range. Okay. Oh wait, I guess I should put lo-fi jazz that's non-copyright. Because I don't want to get booted. Lo-fi jazz for streaming, maybe? No copyright. Okay. Here we go. Switch up. There we go. I'm going to turn it down a little. Okay. So, Manic Monday is getting caught up from everything that you didn't do before today. So, we're going to get caught up. And plus, I hope y'all enjoyed your Easter break and or holiday or whatever you went on. Or maybe just didn't do anything at all. What's the day's date? Oh, that is over. 24. What is it? Same things. I did have an issue last week, and I caught myself right midweek sometime. I accidentally printed like one section of the schedule thing, like just one section of it twice. I don't know how I did that, but I had like 3 days and a week beginning, but they were not in order. It was weird. So I started writing on them, and then I realized that they're not right, that they're both the same. It's the same week. But I was writing on 2 different pages. Like, I didn't realize that I was flipping to a page one day, and then the next day I was flipping to a different page that was the same page. They're both exactly the same. But I was filling information on this one and on this one. So I was like trying to combine it. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is I'm trying to pull, because like we do the week in review, we try to pull all of the previous information into that we haven't completed into this current, so this way we keep caught up. And for me personally, I noticed that when I started doing this whole routine thing, that if I didn't pull last week's into this week, that there was some pieces missing that ended up falling through the cracks later on, right? So if you don't do a week in like last week in review, or last month in review, or just some kind of a review of yourself and your actions and what you did do, didn't do, what you need to do, you know, because I'm notorious for that. I'll write down everything I need to do and totally forget about it because I already wrote it down. So it's done in my mind. So, so yeah, just, if you're trying to keep up, and this also goes along with the whole envelope system for Tuesdays with the money and budgeting. It also like reinforces that, like Monday reinforces the last week's review. Tuesday reinforces budget review. And then Wednesday is a review of, health and fitness. Thursday is a review of like yard, garden, all that stuff, and so on. So once you get to the time where it's like, okay, Saturday, you have your day, for content or whatever. And then Sunday is your office day. For me, it's my Monday. So the office day is to pull all of the information and reorganize the office to get ready for the next week that's coming up, the rest of the week that's coming up. So this way you can focus solely on what your future movement is going to be. Because it's like, all right, well, even if I miss something on Sunday, by Monday, if I don't catch it, I know I'll catch it by Tuesday. So you do have that little bit of grace period for your, like a little buffer for yourself. We're all human. We all make errors, whatever. So that way you can be able to keep up with yourself, because time is money, right? And if you're not like keeping yourself straight, then everything else is going to collapse around you. So if you notice that the world around you is chaotic, or like if nothing's working right, then that's something that you need to review, right? Get all the information together, right, from the past, and kind of review it, look over it, and say, hey, okay, this is where I'm actually at, and this is what I need to do. Those invisible steps to get you to where you need to be, you already have some pieces of knowledge of that, or you may gain that on your path. But there's going to be pieces that are going to be missing, and those are the ones that you're going to have to find, or if sometimes we end up skipping over a piece. That void is always there. The possibility of the zero is always there. So, or the L. So, the L's always there. But, the possibility for L is always there. Let's see. So, that way you can kind of like self-assess and just like stay on track. And that's how, and it's really hard to do, especially when you're like future focused and you have to pull all this stuff and fix this from there while you're trying to progress. So it's not just, they all say that like we're on this DNA train and we're on a speed train in the middle of the DNA strand and we're all going one direction, right? But the past and the future are all present right now. And even if you were to jump forward in the train, you're still like, I don't know. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with this. So this way you can keep up with yourself. Accountability. Just think like multidimensional in a sense. Like that's pretty much how we have to think, especially now, since we've pretty much created our own destroyer. But AI is definitely going to bring us all together because now we're going to have a common enemy. So we're going to have to think faster than something that thinks 100 times faster than we do. So creative, outside the box thinking is going to be necessary for future movement. And but you got to remember that there is always a path. There's always a choice and a path. Usually you have your right path and wrong path. But my grandmother always said that there's the right way, the wrong way, and there's the easiest way. So, and I do try to think outside the box as much as I can. But I also have to remember that there are 3D rules and laws. Okay? So even if you're this multidimensional being that's capable of thinking in so many different pathways, you still have to remember that there are 3D laws and rules that you have to abide by. And So, and it's not, everyone's always like, oh, and it's not as bad. It's not that bad if you're doing it the right way. All right. So, I highly suggest that you look into, and you're not going to be able to learn all of them, but your laws, what your rules are, what your rights are. I suggest looking into that, because knowledge is power. Let's see. And being able to exercise those rights and when those laws and rules come is really important too. And that way you can, again, it kind of gives you that brick hold to grasp onto, to remind yourself, to ground yourself, right? Which is really important. You should constantly ground yourself. But so that way, your thoughts or your ideas don't go way too far out of bounds. And I'm not saying like, oh, well, you need to restrict yourself. No. I'm saying that understanding of the way that the world works is going to be crucial for your survival and your thriving era. Okay? So being able to balance the good parts of you and the bad parts of you, you're going to see it all in this. Okay? There's no way that you could not possibly hold yourself accountable if you're having the discipline enough to even do that to start with. Like taking those steps to be more self-disciplined, to be able to see, because you will see it. You'll start to see where your weaknesses are. And that's not a bad thing. Okay? You are literally, no matter how much your ego lies to you, you are only as strong as your weaknesses. Okay? So being able to recognize your weaknesses and being able to work on them actively is the only thing that's going to strengthen you to be able to thrive in the future. So being honest with yourself first is a priority. And it's hard, especially when you got to go look in that mirror. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a way of like, oh, whatever thought that just came across your mind. I'm meaning it in a way that when you start to see yourself for who you truly are, it is a very eye-opening experience. And a lot of us really try our hardest to deny it. And you can't. There is no denying it. The only way that you will be able to elevate is if you are your authentic self. So, in saying this, meaning of everything, I know I'm kind of like going on a tangent here, but I always do that. Whoever meant to hear that heard it. So, but as far as Manic Monday goes, I'm trying my best to keep up, and this is really, really telling me, with all of the information that we've already poured into previous learning, and kind of be able to touch base a little bit, expand a little bit more on those topics, maybe because of the things that we weren't really able to talk about, or things that I wasn't able to think about until now. Because whenever you have a conversation, you always think about like 50 other things that you could have talked about, especially in an argument. But and so being able to review and go back and double check yourself, it kind of gives you an opportunity also to open other doors on specific topics that you were previously talking about or thinking about. And since all of creation comes from imagination, the God source, right? The portal. That then becomes your reality. So you are the only one, and we're given a power of choice to choose what your reality is. Me personally, I'm trying to work on this and other aspects of my life at the same time. So it's difficult. um, and I am going to say, do not give up on your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. Keep freaking going, even if you just started. Okay? I know it's hard. I know it feels like it's never gonna fucking happen, but it will. Okay? Keep going. No matter what other people say, I know they're gonna try to warn you, and some people might be warning you for your best interests. But again, that is also your choice. So, but yeah, I'm, as I have before and probably always will, until I can get this under control, have had to review all my stuff. So. It was Jeff and I anniversary yesterday, so we went to the local thrift store and got some things. That was cool. And I made meatloaf. I hate meatloaf. He loves this shit. I hate it. He can have the whole fucking thing every single year. Every year. I don't care. It's all his. Okay. So, now that I've totally lost what I was going to say, maybe I should just shut up. Alright. So, going back to this, like I said, I had reprinted twice of what I was going to write. Let's see, it's the 20th. Alright, so I'm going to just pull this. Yep. Okay. I'm trying to review myself here, like double check. You know how you do those little picture searches to make sure that like one piece is not missing, or like you're looking for one specific, like you have a list of words that they mean an image, and then you have to find that image in the, like, where's Waldo, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm reviewing to see and pulling the information out to be able to put into here. So this way I can pick and choose what it is going forward. The things that we've already done, I'm like clearing it and moving on to the next, basically. And for the ones that I want to take with me, I'm picking and choosing right now who's going with me. So. Alright, so... Alright, so we already did find dashboards for... printable dashboards was one of the things that we were looking for last week. Found that. Do need to add for those of you who know, I did start doing like online yard sailing yesterday. Check that out. I think I did it on here and on my TikTok. That was like the first time I really went like full blown live on my TikTok. That's kind of cool. It actually went well. It was only like 30 minutes. Like, it wasn't much. Which, I mean, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this, like, really, to everybody, everybody, your attention timing is going to be shortened, okay? So, going forward, everything has to be either shorter or has to change quicker, okay? And that's what we're going to start noticing is a lot of changes coming. Big changes right now, because it's going to seem big, okay? There's big changes coming, which are for your betterment, okay? So when I say I really want you to focus on what you want your future to look like, really hone in on that, okay? And take the steps that are necessary to start moving towards that, okay? And I do mean in all areas of your life. It's going to be really hard, but for the next couple of days, don't complain about it. All right? And you'll start to realize your thoughts are a lot stronger than you think they are in creating your reality. It might be a little scary, but that's going to be okay. But you're more powerful than you think you are. And the future is yours to decide. So, homework. Make a planner. Even if you just have to start like I did, with a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay? Or something. Find a way that works best for you. And I want you to put together, even if it's in your mind, the idea of what you want your future to look like. I want you to be so clear in that thought that you can literally feel it, smell it, taste it, hear it, see it, feel it. Okay? Out of 8 billion people in the world, if I can get just 4,000 people to do that today, that would be great. Okay? Hold on, where's my coffee cup? Yeah, I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday. Anyway, I'm joking. So, movie reference. I know, I talk a lot, don't I? I talk for those who are listening. So, this music makes me think of Delilah. She's still going? Is she still on the radio? Is Delilah still on the radio? Hold on, my stupid brain needs to spell Delilah real quick. Delilah, because I'm retarded. Radio. I'd never actually seen her face. Wow, she's really pretty. Now that's like meshing two worlds together in my mind. Is she still like going? Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. I did not know that. No, I do. And knowing is half the battle. All right. So, for okay, so it starts on Monday. Sunday. It starts on Sunday. So I'm pulling all of Sundays. Because I had written in the weekly. I'm at 30. Gosh, I talk too much. That was like actually one of the reports when I was in school, was that I talked too much in class. Some things never change. Whatever, fuck it. They shouldn't have put me in the closet and locked me there then. That's why they didn't want me to talk. Let's see. So, not pulling to specifically the weekly from the weekly, reviewing from weekly into daily. So, daily has. All right, so for one Sunday, which okay, today, yesterday. Okay, I have to put this into next. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember I told you guys about the printable dashboards. For those of you who make your own planners, I Frankenstein the hell out of mine. But I really do like the Happy Planner notebooks, things, little book things. I'm not sponsored, but I really like them and their layout and the fact that their little coin things are interchangeable. They're super cute. I think I actually still have one. I was thinking about that. I was like, do I have one still? I usually try to keep all my books, but since I've moved around so much and like the storage situation happened, life kind of failed me. Or I failed life, one or the other. Anyway, I pretty much failed life. Okay, so here is my Happy Planner from, I believe, like 2 years ago. But they have little tabs that are interchangeable. You can actually pull that tab out, or like the pages are easy to remove. They just pop off. And like, here's a divider. And look, it doesn't rip or tear or anything. See? So, and they come in a bunch of really cool designs. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I think anybody's ever sponsored me. Hey, what you doing, baby?
Trying to go through that box.
Oh. Yeah, I got a bunch of boxes to go through too. So they have like interchangeable like little sections too, like where you put your calendars or notes or whatever. And I was using this for a while until I developed my own layout that works for me personally. And I'm looking into some things for future, but I'm going to write that down actually right now. I just came up with an idea. Where am I at? Okay. And like I said, these, like, they have a lot of really cool designs. This one specifically had, I love like the moon and the phases of the moon and stuff. And it was like, it had like a lot of like shimmery, if you're into shimmery. I don't know if you could see that or not. But there's a lot of like gold accents on it, even on like the regular paper. There's like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's super shiny. If you're into that kind of thing. There's also matte designs also. But you can check that out. This one is from 2022. Sorry. But yeah. So they have newer designs now. And I think they still have some like moon phase designs still. I'm not sure if you're into that. But yeah, they're interchangeable and you can Frankenstein them, like put different packs together. They do have them available, I think, on Amazon also. Use my link. Anyway, so my affiliate link is in my About Me section. Thank you. I gotta promote myself, you know? And so I'm gonna think about some things and move forward with that thought. But yeah, usually I keep my books, but I ended up losing a bunch of them because of a bunch of stuff happening. So if you come across my books, I'm sorry. You get to see the chaos that is my mind. So, that's why another reason why I was looking into the pen that is electronic. So this way I don't have to just write in the books. I can write online in my computer. So this way I don't have to like write it and then go back and type it a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the majority of the past 5 years has been me trying to like micromanage every aspect that I want to be a part of what it is that I do every day. And I'm missing a bunch, but I think I'm getting it closer to what I'm like looking to do going forward. So I'm not sure exactly where my little avatar piece in this game of life is going to land, but I just know that I'm working towards things that I can right now until I can do more. You always got to start somewhere, and even if it's from zero or negative, because sometimes we do get there, it's okay. It's just keep going, right? And keep trying. This is all trial and error. That's all life it is. So don't be so harsh on yourself if you don't get it right the first time. Going back to the whole like successes chaos. So and it's fleeting. It's only momentary. Success is momentary. Just remember that. You have to keep working for it and working towards things that you want to keep moving towards. Like once you reach that goal of dream, you know, the accolades and all of this virality, right? Once you reach that, what are you going to do? Like, is that it? Like, is that the balloon that you're going to hold on to for the rest of your life? Like, as you descend back to land and realize, oh, that high was great while I was there. Or are you going to keep going? Even if you have that little bit of descent and land back on the ground and crash land back on the ground, into the ground, through some trees and off the edge of a road. Anyway, so even if you end up in a really bad spot, just know that you're not alone. No, that doesn't help much. Sometimes when you get to that point where you're just like, life, right? Everything will be alright. Just keep going. Just keep breathing. So, going to next Sunday. Why didn't I just pull the cardboard? Dummy. Oh, no, I only printed into May. Oh, anyway. Okay. Scratch that. Let's go back to, oh, that is Monday. There. Okay. So, moving on. Alright. And also, the reason for the scheduling is so this way you can keep up with yourself as well as be able to plant future pinpoints for yourself to be able to move forward to. Okay? Stay with me. When you're pulling the review information into the next, right, you're giving yourself those little pegs to be able to pull yourself forward. And it gives you a stronghold, something to work with, to move forward with, right? So, let's see. Another thing I need to work on is my handwriting. Can't even read my own handwriting. ways to speak without words. Okay, so from languages, where are we at? Oh. Okay. Languages is ways to speak without words. Personal learning is to make the planner, which we did do. I'm still fine tuning it. So I'm gonna put that back on here. Finish planner. Let's see. Also underneath that, I'm gonna put adjust calendar. Printout for something space. Oh, to create space for the weekend long day. Okay, yeah, I already did that. Okay, so see what I mean? Be able to keep up with your next steps, right? So by doing the review, pulling in all the information into the next week, you'll be able to see where your gaps are and where you'll be able to move forward. Today is okay. So I do need to pull. I'm going to put a T for transfer. For Google is the personal, household, and for sale. As you guys know, I have an eBay account and other selling sites. Check out my link tree. But I am reselling and selling personal items also. So I'm adding that list for the listing for Goodwill when we go to have something to look for. Let's see. All right. So for Monday, since it rained all last week, I'll be able to retake pics for eBay today and going into possibly. Okay, so this is the reason for Saturdays. Fashion Saturday is for the weather for the week, okay? And if you haven't done it on Sunday, by the time you haven't done it Sunday, by Monday you'll realize what you haven't done. So it gives you 3 days of grace, all right? But by then you're 3 days behind. So to get caught up, I'm gonna go to the Weather Channel. And it's like somebody saying if you're not 15 minutes early, you're 15 minutes late. What you doing, baby?
Testing out the DVD player.
Oh. Oh. Severe weather threat. Potential severe weather outbreak could produce strong tornadoes, damaging hail, and high winds. Great! So, 10-day. Today it's going to be 78, tonight 54. I'm so glad it's not freezing freaking cold anymore, but my next option is to bitch about how hot it is. So, remember, we're trying not to complain. So, for the next 3 days, it's going to be really, actually 5 days. For the next week, it's going to be in the 80s. Wednesday's almost going to be 90. Wow. Okay. So, oh yeah, I printed it out. Okay, so when I printed this out, the 29th was only supposed to be 70 degrees, and now it's saying it's going to be 82. That's why I don't trust the weather channel. Everything is approximate, right? So everything that we know today for what it is an assumption. It's all man-made. And mankind, humans, are flawed by design. So, again, going back to the pointing the finger, the 369, the truth, the lies, and the in between, and the answer. Rule of 4. So, all right. This is why you don't print too far ahead. See, if I had printed this out like Sunday, yesterday, or Saturday even, then it wouldn't have been so far ahead. But I had printed it like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, keeping up with yourself, priority. All right. So for shouldn't be raining at all this week, supposedly. Stray showers. Stray showers. Probably closer in the evening. Yeah, because that's how North Carolina is. We have these random ass evening shower that you would think would make you feel so much better. Because of the clay, it makes it like a freaking sauna. So, so it's no, you don't want the rain then. You're just like, let it rain at night so it cools everything down. Not 6 o'clock when the sun's still up for the next 3 fucking hours and it's cooking you alive until you die. Heat exhaustion.
Tremors 3 and Tremors 4 is what's on there. Have you seen them both?
After Tremors 1, I was done.
Okay, I never seen it. It's just a CD.
Well, I don't remember Tremors 2. I do remember one that had like a lot of CGI and it was really awful. It was like a B-rated movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not up my alley. Anyways. I almost got rid
No
of
offense
this
to those who like
DVD
B-rated
player
movies.
because it didn't work.
Just not my thing. Oh yeah. Also, languages is AI for Education from Khan Academy. Okay. So, whoops. Yeah, that's personal learning. Or no, that's languages. I wrote it in personal learning. You get what I'm saying. How to print your own dashboards. Literally all you have to do is just find a picture that you like on Google Images, save it to your computer or phone, and then just print it from there. Make sure that it fits to the page, and that's it. That's all you have to do. As far as dashboards for the envelopes, that's a whole nother thing. I do have some sites saved, but not a whole bunch. Pretty much the ones that I did find, I just typed in printable dashboards and just looked. You'll find a lot of pages that have a ton of ads, but you'll find one that works good for you. And like I said, even if you just get a copy of like an outline for making your own envelopes, or even if you have an envelope, just break it down, take the outline and write it on the piece of paper that you want to do. That's how we used to do it back in the day. But y'all have electronics. So, however you have to do it, good luck.
That sounds a little despair.
I don't know. I don't know how people use their equipment. Yeah. I've owned a Cricut when I was younger, but it was for fondant. It wasn't for paper. It was for food.
Gotcha.
So.
Have you already covered your plans with your students on how the progress of your seeds are coming?
Oh, that's Thursday.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the garden that we've got.
What if a student wants to give you an apple? You're a teacher.
Mm-hmm. There's my P.O. box. They can send anything to me in my P.O. box that was legally allowed to be sent through the post office. Check requirements locally. Okay, so. But yeah, my P.O. box is still open and available for y'all to send to. P.O. Box 5923.
Tell them you accept money because States. Your fiance and you didn't have enough funds to cover the anniversary, so any charitable donations will be accepted.
Just for Forever Home Project. This one's closed. Okay. So, also backtracking to those of you who I gave the coupon codes for Amazon, those of you who are on my Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and also were on my Twitch the other day and possibly my TikTok, I'm not sure. All of you. Oh, and YouTube. Sorry. My apologies. I shared a link that does not work. I caught that this morning. So be aware that I don't know where it went. I just know the link is out there. And it has a code on it. I am not sharing that code from the ThinkPad anymore until it starts working again. If you see a code from me again in the future, it's because the code has been tested and it works. Okay? So, my apologies. It did work the first time I tried it, and then for some reason after that, since then, I have not been able to get it to work right. I don't know why. But yeah, I actually went to go purchase something, and I used that coupon code for that website specifically. It wasn't the Amazon link. It was a different link. I think it was for, like, Torrid. And luckily, they already had a sale that was way better than my code anyways. But yeah, I had a 40% off coupon. I think I told y'all about that. If it works for y'all, great, go ahead. But it does not work on Amazon for some reason, and I don't know why it's not working on there, even though it's giving me that as a code as an option. So broken link, guys, sorry. Or broken code, I should say. Coding is another thing that you guys should get into, even if you just touch base a little bit on it, just for future reference. You can also use coloring pages for the dashboards. Was another idea that I was thinking about doing, because we have a couple like pretty cool looking coloring books. That's just something we have. I don't know. That's something everybody has. Really neat. This one's dark art, gothic coloring book. Hey, Dasnak! I didn't see your chat till just now. Sorry if I missed you. But yeah, there was a couple of pages that were kind of cool. Again, I'm not sponsored. This gives very like Disney vibes. for me. It's always a castle and some kind of dragon or something, right? Isn't that like what movie is that? Sleeping Beauty, where the dragon comes to the castle? Yeah. Or Maleficent. Let's see. So there's like warrior. This one was cute. We have dancing skeletons on the wall in the office area too. It's cute. Um, oh, I actually have to go back to this one because I have a topic that was I read this morning. Oh, that's cool too. Um, there's a guy that wanted to have his skull cleaned and have his body turned into, those diamonds that go to the company that makes your body into these like little gems and make it into blue gems for the eyes. And he said he wanted to look over the family for the next several generations. And it was funny. That just reminded me of that. Um, so I have a personal portrait. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool ones in here. They're definitely different. And you can actually use these for your envelope system if you really wanted to. I thought this one was badass. It's a crow, raven, I don't know, something. This one was cool too. I was thinking about making this one of my dashboards also. But yeah, there's some really cool, like, I guess you'd call them adult coloring books. I'm good so far. I hope y'all are. This one's really cool. I always like the stained glass stuff. Like I even want to do stained glass on the windows. But yeah. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. You can use those. Whatever kind, maybe you're not into that specifically, but like whatever style thing you like. Also, coloring pages are pretty good. Like they're pretty cool for like gift wrap too, or like the paper that you stuff in the things. Like if you can like tape a bunch of coloring pages together and like make it into like one big thing, and then put it down in one of those like paper bags for presents. I don't know. That's just a different idea. Maybe it's somebody's thing. I think for tattoo artists, I think that they use coloring pages as like practice for shading. I don't know if that's true or not. Um, let's see. All right, so make a line down the side here. All right, so for me, I usually will put like on the actual like schedule thing. I will put like I'll leave room for notes and stuff. And then I'll put a line typically down the side here if there's like this is the main thing, right? And then on the side, I'll put like notes or things that like, okay, well maybe this was my schedule, my plan for this day, but this is what I actually did, kind of thing. So like what I wanted to do and what I actually got done day to day. So that way you can keep up with, okay, well, these little side thoughts that you have, writing them in or just jotting them down or whatever, whenever you do your review, or if you're in the midst of conversation or thought, you can actually just write it and add to it. It makes it a lot easier. already printed into May, but I do need to. Um, when I get done with this calendar, on like Saturday, Sunday, I'll probably print the next week. So that way I'm not, again, going back to the actual like weather forecast. It'll be a little bit more accurate if I pull that going forward. Um, um, you can also, oh, I actually did write this down already. Okay, so it's not, I may have already talked about it. You can actually make your own PDF for online sales, your own branded PDF. For most of you who are on YouTube, you probably already know this. Um, but yeah, you can create your own design for things, and then brand it and print it and make it your own, or not even print it, make it into a PDF file, and that way you can just go ahead and sell it. Um, there are lots of ideas out there. Like Jeff and I were talking about this yesterday. Is that money's everywhere, and it's just wanting a place to go. So come up with some places for it to go, right? Everybody's got a place for it to go. It's the places people want to fuck it. Like, um, so for okay, so core envelopes, which I put a question mark next to for okay, so going back to Goodwill for personal household and sale items. I actually did make a small list that I need to. I'm wondering if for the needs list, if I should make it kind of like a meal plan, because we go so often. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna print needs list. Or specifically like a thrift list. And I know that as far as like the resellers, we always love it whenever you guys thrift stuff, right? Whenever you donate things to places like Goodwill or thrift stores or whatever, consignment shops. We all love that shit. But I always suggest to first send it to places like shelters, DSS, churches, places that you know for a fact that they're going to go, schools, that they're going to go to somebody who actually needs it first, before Goodwill, before all the thrift stores. Okay. Um, and if you have anything left over, then bring it to thrift stores and stuff like that, or donation locations. Uh, because they're the ones that usually are always in need of something. And like I said, it's usually in need for someone in need. So, and I'll be honest with you, the school systems, the if you go completely online with all education, and you go completely cashless with a system monetarily, you're going to cut out many, many avenues for people to be able to survive. It's literally like a limiting. It's like it just like forces people to be a certain way. But anyway, it's business. The systems that are in place right now, um, they've always had extra systems attached to them, right? Like I said about pulling the information from the previous weekly into the daily, you're always going to have some kind of background, right? Of something else that was attached. Like I said, that extra thought process that ends up getting pulled in, right? There's always that missing bit of information, whether it's inbound or outbound. So when you shut down certain services that are currently in place that already have those other attachments to it, a lot of people don't realize that's how um, it's cut off, right? So it's like a forced focus on specifically um, future thinking, right? So, because you won't have anything else, you wouldn't have that option. The door's closed, right? So, you'll have to find a new way. And like I was saying in previous streams, is that the ways in the past are not going to work anymore. The ways of the future, you're going to have to pull the traditional pieces from the past. And yes, that's always across time. That's why it's called classic. It's across time. It never changes. It never dulls. It's classic. It stays in perpetual motion. Um, and so when you're pulling this old, right, and bringing it forward, you're not gonna be able to bring everything. Okay, so you're gonna have to pick and choose specifically what you're gonna pull forward into the future, and that's the way that if they shut down a lot of these ways of being, right, the ways that they used to be, if they shut them down, you're gonna have to find a new way, right? It's zeroing out. It's literally forcing focus in another direction. And so when your focus is changed or your view or perspective is altered, it's very difficult for a lot of people to to handle that change. Okay? And so know that it's for your betterment. And try to only take with you what you can going forward. Um, and so when or what you need to, because you've already done the steps that you needed to take to get to where you are today, and those checked off, those steps that you took, you're not taking those stairs with you. Okay? If you get to the top of an escalator, right, are you going to take all those steps with you and carry them with your next steps? Or are you only going to take the ones that you need to take with you, like a backpack, the things that you need? What are you going to put in that bag, right? Are you going to collect all of the little stepping stones and carry them all with you? You can't. There's no way. It's going to be too heavy and you're not going to be able to move forward. You're going to have to put down the lessons that you already learned, the steps that you already took, the backtracking, yes, there's a little bit of backtracking. I know that I just said that in the review, but I'm talking about like long-term backtracking where you do not ever move forward. You're going to have to take the little steps 1% at a time every single day in every avenue, and that's how you move forward sometimes, okay? Life is really hard for a lot of people. Pretty much everyone is going through some bullshit right now. So just understand that and be aware of that, but yours is your main focus. Um, so like right now, my main focus for tomorrow is going to be meal planning for sure because I haven't done an inventory in a while, and I'm getting ready to make an order sometime. And so tomorrow is Tasty Tuesday with the meal plan and order. I'm definitely going to put a star next to that and put inventory also because the order is going to be made. Now I'm a little behind, as always. So I'm having to get caught up, but there's not much to inventory, so it's not going to be a big deal. Then once I do the meal planning, I will transfer. So T, transfer meal plan to said location. At a minimum 1 full meal a day and stay hydrated, a gallon of water a day. Which I don't even hold true to that either. So, all right, clean up. Okay, so since today is Monday, for those of you who have trash, today is a trash bin cleanup day. All trash bins. So wash out all your trash cans. Make sure your sink and everything is all clean. Today's house tour is kitchen and trash anyways, so I'm just going to put that in there to the big bins, like the main ones. Well, I guess it really wouldn't matter. All bins. And sanitized. So hey, baby.
What? I'm doing my driver's license thing. What?
Oh, have fun with that.
What?
Pick a color.
I guess blue. Sky blue.
Sky blue. Okay. So, thank you. I already wrote on here for like last week that oh, there's more on one page. Whoa, what? Okay, hold on. Oh, that's right. All right, so we can review Mondays. Put the rest of this aside. Oh my gosh, I didn't even look at the rest of it. Okay, so inventory, kitchen needs, yeah, is cleaned. Inventory, and all right. So I already started a list. Another thing is you'll end up noticing when you write those notes and go back and review, you'll see where you miss little pieces of information. Especially for myself, I have a horrible freaking memory. So writing stuff down and keeping up with it helps me to be able to do something with my life, right? Oh yeah, okay. Keeping up here, keeping up. Alright. Charging station for tonight's power down. I don't know how many times I've been saying it. I need to make a freaking charging station. Because, like this, I don't know how many times this thing's gone dead on me. Alright, so personal learning also. Dashboards. I do need to print out some more dashboards for the dividers and for the envelope system. I already have some printed for the envelope system, but Not really 100% on that one. Okay, so I'm gonna put this underneath this. Morning routine versus night routine. Split up Google listing. Let me double check the calendar and make sure that I did do that already. Baby.
What?
Your phone went off.
Oh yeah, I see.
It's funny. I wrote keep up or be left behind. It's accurate. Specific today. New AIG versus old trends. I don't remember what we were talking about, or maybe it was just a thought process that I had. Oh, okay, gotcha. So, for 9 a.m. socials, I already had it pre-listed based on the best times to post. This may still work. I'm not sure if that algorithm is still accurate. But I do know that a lot of algorithms have changed recently, especially since AI. Okay? And this for all social media content creators. For anybody who is online or anyone who has internet access or a phone, even if it's a landline, be very careful with the information that you receive coming to you in the future. There's a very high possibility that it is not human. Okay? I'm warning you now, ahead of time, to be aware of that. It's not to be it's the end of the world. I'm meaning it as possibility, but I'm meaning it as like just to be aware of it, okay? I did hear a story the other day, I don't know if it's accurate or not, about an AI calling 911 and reporting a man murdering his daughter. When police arrived, there was no problem, no call was made. It wasn't a human being, it was an AI. And they made up this big elaborate story about this guy murdering his daughter. And there was no issue. So that really freaked me out. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's true or not, but just be aware of how much AI has been permeated into our reality. Okay? It was not given a border. The only border was our own limits. And even that, we gave it 100 times more ability to advance beyond us. So, even if it's wrong, and 100 times wrong, it's still going to be, it already exists. So just be aware of that in the future. Okay, great. Just ignore that ad. That's why I also said AI for education, to understand it, not just for the learning aspect of it, but also for a different change of a perspective. I want you, when you're learning something, to look at it in a sense of learning it. But then I also want you to come back to that topic later and relearn it from a different perspective. Okay? This is going to give you a huge advantage coming into the future. Okay? When you have two sides of the story, you'll be able to move forward. And it'll happen very quickly, almost instantaneously. You may have a choice about it and you may not. Sometimes, like I said, there's some things that are created from the void, and from others. Just remember, every single action that you make, every word that you speak creates. So remember that that is not just you. That is also 8 billion other people on this planet. That whole butterfly effect thing, like, if you think about it, it's a reality. Possibilities of someone's action creating a reaction and turning our lives into something that it wasn't before is always a possibility. Okay? It's just in the odds. So, um, so morning routine versus night routine, split it up in the Google listing. Um, Everything okay, baby?
Yeah, friends wanted to know if I would could they come up there and see him in Lincoln, and I said I'd have to talk it over with you.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
But
I'd like to go to Statesville first. So Amazon links are still available. Like I said, calendar transfers for the morning routine, breakfast or meals, and socials. I'm gonna have to look into the socials part of it, and that's probably why I wrote that note. New algorithm. Oh, ALG algorithm. Okay, so note new AI ALG, which is algorithm, because I don't know how to spell algorithm, versus old trends. The new algorithm patterns are going to be probably repetitive. And then you're going to need, well, because also the bot farming. So you're like, what was I read earlier? That the ceiling of a building was covered in blood because it was the floor of another building in history that 1,400 people fought off like 10,000 people in this one building. I don't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it was something like about Viking or something like that, but I'll have to check my social media to see what it was, but I think I shared it or something. I read stuff everywhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I repost it, or if I think it's interesting, I'll share it with somebody else. And I think that's pretty much all of society now, is that you just share things, and that's why there's information, to clarify if the information is right or not. But even then, the truth is out there, right? List. Alright, so we added a new workout routine. I already added the socials specific to the days, but again, going back to that, Chromebook only does not share specific links anymore. My Amazon did change recently, and I don't know why. So as far as the coupon codes are currently suspended until future notice. eBay's the retake pics. I forgot that. Yeah. So basing off of the weather forecast, so far so good this week. There's going to be scattered showers, so should be able to retake the pics fairly easily. or resell online, live sale, yard sale. Etsy is personal made items, which I did transfer the Etsy link from last week's calendar to this, so that way I already have it built out. And then suspended to be determined. Okay. Like I said, my Amazon links are on my Facebook, IG, and on my X. Then, oh, I also need to update prices in my eBay. Because I told y'all yesterday that I was going to change them for summer for the spring cleaning clear out. Etsy, I told y'all last week that I was going to start painting this picture of these mushrooms that were in the yard that just randomly grew in the yard, right? It was so ethereal looking. It was so cottagecore. And I was going to go out there and take a picture and like print it or like paint it. And as soon as I went to go out there to take a picture of it, as soon as I remembered to do it, it was gone. I don't know if the squirrels ate the mushrooms out of the yard or what. Maybe bunnies, because we do have some bunnies around here. Do bunnies eat wild mushrooms? It was gone. There was not one mushroom in my yard at all. It was like a fairy trap. Them fae. You can't trust the fae. Chaos inducers. But, yeah, I was so disappointed too. So now I'm going to have to take it from memory, and my memory sucks. So, future painting in the works. So, mushroom painting. Keep an eye out on my Etsy. I'll be updating the eBay also. So, house chores, wash out your bins, do inventory. I started an inventory needs list for the kitchen. I'm trying to think if I want to have the needs list just printed and then just add to it every week, or if it would be easier to do room by room. Or add a needs list to house chores. Yeah, well then it'll be okay. So the needs list would be for house chores. I'm gonna put a question mark next to that because I also need to have a needs list for the garden. So hey.
Oh, I was looking at it. My friends typed me through Facebook Messenger, and then I was trying to do my license thing at the same time.
I'll have to come back to that. I'm gonna put a circle around that because I'm not sure what section does this hold. In. Okay. So for mani pedi, I let Jeff choose colors. Focus on. Yeah, focus is on. As far as nightly routine, focus is on feet right now. For y'all who know that I have a flesh-eating bacteria on my foot since last year for some fucking reason, will not go away, will not die, no matter what I do. I have to buy a specific gel that I can only order if I have insurance, and I don't. So, because no one will hire me. Anyway. Being able to understand self and others' ways of communicating, as far as languages, self and others, communication versus comprehension. What ways to better understand or be understood? Um, and CPTSD and other mental health, not in a negative way. Health um, abilities or differences. Onwards. So, all right, so we are coming into the 5th month. So if you have not done it, you need to do it, which is change passwords or update information for your passwords list. So I'm going to put that in update passwords list. However you do that, there's apps for that too. Also in social media, need to update headings to summer. For those of you who use hashtags or other links or codes or attachments of some sort for social media, you'll need to change your headings. Which not far from now it'll be changed again anyways. So, but so going back to the listings for the thrift list, also adding to it seasonal items. Also adding a notes section specifically to at a minimum the whole thing. The whole thing. Scratch that.
Hey,
Yeah, baby.
it says I don't have a real. Our records don't indicate you do not have a real ID in North Carolina. Without a real ID, your new North Carolina driver's license will be noted not for federal identification.
I'm not the only one.
Huh?
I'm not the only one. Have fun with that.
Oh, I was just saying.
You're going to have to go bring all of your paperwork, every bit of proof that exists that you exist as an American. I'm not joking.
You gotta do it. Anybody's ever asked me?
No. I mean, like, they're going to make you reapply for your license.
That's what I'm doing right now.
No, like the whole thing.
It just, you know what I'm even talking about? Or you just
Yeah, they sent me a letter about it too. That's what I was talking about. My birth certificate's not real.
Well, I don't have a birth certificate. I've been at the prison for 20 years. That would count for something. Our records.
I don't even think they take a birth certificate as ID anymore.
No, all I know is I've been to prison.
Well, if you've been an officer, you can get a real ID, like the next level up license.
But I'm just wanting to get my driver's license so I can do legal driving.
Well, you might have to actually go to the DMV and do it then instead of online. You might have to actually go up there.
Well, do I get my driver's license? That's what
They're probably going to give you a driving test and an eye test.
No, they're not going to give me no driver's test.
You think I'm joking?
No, I hadn't had to do that.
I had to redo it. I had to start over from scratch. Like out of nowhere, even though I've been living here for 20-something years. Yeah, you have to like reapply.
I don't have to get.
If you get that notice, that's what you have to do.
Do you want to use this?
I mean, you might not have to because you're lucky like that.
I'm not lucky.
You are lucky.
I planned 20 years in advance. You just stay for the plan for 20 years. That always teach you how to retire and everything all the time. Let's see, phone number.
Oh, that's what I was doing. Copy images from site and add quirky title for attention. Okay, so Amazon links. Like I said, Facebook, X, and IG. So you'll have an image, a link, and a title for sharing. Personal learning also. Rural development homes. USDA loan. And credit repair. Which I'm going to put quotes in that for Tuesday. For gym, specific for older women's health, 40 plus, and for those people who have arthritis or any other kind of health issue. Like for me personally, like I have scar tissue, so I have to be careful of that, like when I'm working out and stuff. And then I just also noticed recently when I was working out that I started having pain in my knees. So I stopped my leg presses. And I noticed that kind of eased a lot of it back. I think I was pushing a little bit too hard. And that's something that you have to understand is your own boundaries, right? In all aspects of your life. It's going to be very difficult for you to be able to become aware of your boundaries. And then once you put them in place, having the discipline to keep them in place is very difficult also. And having the discipline to be able to keep up with yourself and hold yourself accountable and be honest with yourself is like the hardest thing that you'll ever do. Or one of, you know? So, I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place today, but it's nothing different than any other day, really. All right, so for in Tuesday, I forgot that I was going to write that Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday's numbers, USDA loan and credit repair. 2 topics to think about. Also, government loans or contracts. There's another topic that came up this week. I think it's usajobs.com or something like that. Check it out. I think it's free, um, but you can get contracts with the government if you're into that type of thing. So,
You no longer exist.
since when?
You don't have your records. I don't either, so I just want to be able to drive.
I know. See? I'm not the only one that gets these weird ass messages and has to go through rigmarole bullshit just to fix stuff. Alright, I think that's pretty much good for filling in for Monday. Let me see how much it is. Tuesdays. So we're on to the next, right? Tuesdays transfer. Just 2 pages. Alright, so morning routine, nothing. Nothing all the way down to share links and then create something new for Etsy, which I already wrote. Make anything. Winter sale. No, I already said that I was going to do spring cleaning. Deep clean. Inventory. Alright. I guess this is inventory week. So, oh yeah, monthly washer. So, monthly chore. I'm going to transfer. Oops. Make a new section. Underneath house chores is monthly. Which this is the washer. And then check the dryer vent. If you have one of those tools to be able to like snake your dryer vent, or if you have a way, one of those little tumbler washers or whatever, check the gaskets, clean the gasket area, and underneath your washing machine, you will find, and dryer, you will find all the socks, or all of the cremated remains of what would be socks. Let's see. Okay, so okay, that's it for that one. I'm just gonna toss these. All right, Tuesdays. Oh, except for this one. That's just. I'm not actually like. Well, I guess I should because it's like built up, but. Okay. Didn't I say I had 2 sheets for Tuesday? Did I just throw it out? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Oh, that's why. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. All right, so share links, which I already know that. Amazon. All right, May, we're going into, so for numbers, actual budget, May budget, cash envelope system, every dollar, All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to transfer and split. I'm just going to write every dollar. And then CES for cash envelope system. Or just envelopes. A6. I already printed out personal envelopes. A6 envelopes. Create. So I'm just going to put them together, like glue them. Jam I've already defined. Goodwill I've already defined. Supper already defined by transfer of meal plan. Cleanup is spring cleaning. For yard sale. Virtual. All right. Nightly routine for Tuesday's oiling. I do need to find a curly hair routine. That works good. DIY body scrub. I'm about out of the one that I have that I found at, I know you guys are gonna be like, yeah, Goodwill. And then foot care. Power down is charging station. If I haven't done it by today, I'm definitely gonna have it done by tomorrow because I'm tired of my phone being dead. Once I have the opportunity to, I will add more items to my eBay, which I will be doing. So, add items. All right. Another thing for numbers is local resources. So, for Tasty Tuesday, actually, I should have wrote that in Tasty Tuesday. I'm just going to put an arrow. For Tasty Tuesday, local resources. So, alright, so that's it for Tuesday. Fill in. Also, backtracking to weekly. Ibotta was an option for numbers for trying to budget for the actual budget. So I'm going to put Ibotta. And I wrote April every dollar. I was already put that in there. So next. Like I said, if you haven't done it, it's going to pull to the next and you're going to be forced to be accountable. Oh, whoops. I'm going to keep that. So Wednesday. So I'm holding myself accountable at this moment. Partially. It's a good start, right? You're not going to start somewhere. So Wednesday is wash day. Yay! Nothing for morning. Okay, links, coupon codes, all the same. Laptop transfer, make a bag prep list. Here's another list. Where's the bag prep list at? So for workout Wednesdays, bag prep list. Virtual yard sale, new painting, inventory for house chores, which is living room, and 15-minute tidy. Sorry, for those of y'all just jumping in here, I apologize. This is like a hot mess of information. It's all getting dumped on you. We're doing a review for the past couple of weeks after our Easter break to get caught up for this next coming week for the unschooling. I have to explain myself sometimes. So transferring specific things for ship out. Right now, I don't have any active sales in eBay. Those of you who want to check it out, go ahead in my About Me section. So yeah. All right. So inventory, bag prep list. What am I missing? Oh, gotta finish sanding and paint. So for the living room, Jeff had already started fixing some of the walls and stuff. So sand and paint finish. And it also helps you be able to keep up with multiple things at the same time. You know that like little 1% every single day is 365% at the end of the year, right? So that little 1%, even though it seems like nothing, it adds up. Penny a day. Give me all those silver pennies. That's what I used to say when I was younger. I was going to make a band and call it the Silver Pennies. Watch now, a band will be made named that. There you go. If you're a musician, there's a new name for your band, the Silver Pennies. Make it happen. That's how quick your mind can create things. Just speak it into existence. Alright, so that's good. That's good. Furniture and clean walls. I already did wrong. What am I missing as far as my bag? So for the shift bag, which is S H T F. Yeah, I had to think about it. Didn't you tell? For food items and weather. Clothes. So for international history, I don't have anything written, but for today, an AP News and TikTok, local, current events. So yeah, that's pretty much all the same. On off days for the gym is yard, so watering. Well, I pretty much have to do that every night. Are you okay, baby?
Yeah, I was watching a clip where Santa Claus was killing this woman at work.
That sounds amazing. So, making a list. Food. That's done. That's done. Okay. And okay, reevaluate shift bag inventory. Alright, so that's done. The rest of it I can fill out moving forward. See, that's not that bad because when you're pulling from the previous and you're catching up with what you did do and what you didn't do, it helps finite all of it moving forward. So, going into Thursday. Oh yeah. The reason why I left it blank is because Thursday is the first. So there's my dashboard divider for my planner to move into the next month, right? Even though it's the middle of the week. It's my way of mentally recognizing a split. Okay. I'm forcing myself to recognize this is a new month. Okay. Subconsciously. So, all right. So, meal prep transfer to days, coupon codes or computer. All right. So, this is all. Final prep to garden, pre soak, pH balance. All right. That's way old. So, that's no good. I don't even need to do that because I've already done all that. Transfer, downsize, seed, show garden. So that will be one thing. So for garden plan, and it'll be show progress. That's it for that. And then house chores is an inventory. Also, the inventory needs list goes into the budget. Just remember that because you're only going to be pulling from the envelopes. So just be aware that that needs list is not going to get filled every single week unless you plan for it and you put your money towards your needs first, then your wants. Um, this time of year is time for inspections, oil changes. I know we talked about the accident in the vehicle and the all the things that we needed Friday for maintenance of the vehicle. I did add that in that we already had that done. So for your maintenance part of it, if you had to pull from your budget maintenance listing to pay for that said topic, then you could put that in there and then just go ahead and keep up with that for Tuesday's budgeting stuff. Um, for sciences, I don't have anything for sciences right now, I think. Yeah, I didn't write anything in. So we'll have to fill in. And that's another thing is on the Sunday, which is your Monday, you fill in your scheduling and then you know where your gaps are and what you need to fill in or add to for the next. Because just because you're pulling all this information from before, it looks like you're busy, but it's fake busy work, right? It's already done. You don't have to do it. You don't have to bring it to the next week. It's already done. Leave it there. Leave the past in the past. Jim was cut sugar and add water. And by adding water, I do not mean just any water. For those of you know, you understand where I'm coming from. Bins, and like I said, if I'm going to go ahead and print out those needs lists, it's going to automatically be transferred over into this next week's listing. So anything that is done this week will already be remember I said I wasn't going to print again until this week was done. So by the time I do all of that transferring that I wrote the T next to, this next week's scheduling is going to automatically have that information in there, and I'm not even going to need it anymore. So I'm not even going to be rewriting it again. And that was the point and why I was building this out the way I did, is so this way I didn't have to keep rewriting the same things over and over again. That was one thing that I noticed was holding me back. It was literally me holding myself back. I just had to find a better way. Okay. I was doing the right thing. It was just the way I was doing it. So having that secondary perspective or different view, going back and having that review and saying, oh, I fucked up. So it helps. And you can catch it quicker. So yeah, there's what? Thursday now? Did I miss Wednesday? Oh, international history was I wanted to talk about what was going on with NATO and what is going on in our future with the holographic flag. And Trump's face in the sky. That bet that I made. Dollar bet. I bet $1 that Trump's face will be in the sky. It's a future forecast. Current events. Trump bet. Face in the sky. Okay. Also, for those of you who do want to donate to my Cash App for the Forever Home Project, just let me know that you are so I can separate it. Right now, I don't currently have a setup for it. Let's see, packing. All right, so Friday we did talk about, I think that was it for Thursday. Yeah, we're on Friday. You okay, baby? You're pacing, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what I need to do.
Okay, so there's only one piece for Friday.
Milk today.
Mm-hmm. You want to make a list of stuff? Just off the top of your head, I can add to the order. Or you want to just go ahead and get it? Okay.
My brain. Oh, I know why my brain's dead.
All right, so this one says frost dates. We're way past frost dates for Thursday's garden. pH levels for the ground. I didn't even test them. I just went ahead and put the seeds in the ground. They're growing. It's working. DIY compost bin. I already did that. I did get a tote, like one of those big blue totes. Went ahead and grabbed a bag of manure and compost and mixed it together with some water. Gross, I know, right? But the vegetables love it. So, and the plants love it, and the yard loves it, and everything loves it. So, we're running with it. Probably gonna have to adjust it for certain plants, and I understand that it's totally fine. So for Thursdays, I don't even have to transfer anything over. I already did all that stuff. Fridays is driver's ed. Like I said, we did talk about insurance, accidents, emergency situations, packing for emergency situations in your vehicle, what to have, shift bag just in case for a vehicle specifically, separate than the original shift bag, which you keep near you. This is something that stays in your vehicle at all times. It's not like, I mean, you can have a copy of your personal information in there, but I wouldn't put that in there. Other than like your registration, which is already going to have all your personal information anyways. A lot of times people will keep that in their wallet or in like somewhere, I don't know. Where was I? Friday? Okay, so like I said, morning routine, meal planning, socials, Amazon, eBay, Etsy, house chores, all that stuff's going to transfer over. So the only thing I have to write on here is the inventory. And then for driver's ed, GPS and contact info was some of the conversation that we did have. Making sure that you have contact information printed in your vehicle in case of an emergency. If for some reason you have an accident, there's a possibility your phone will break. Okay, you may not have an electric vehicle. You may have an older vehicle. Just make sure that even if you have an electric vehicle, that in case of emergencies, you have a copy. Either it's in your wallet, your purse, your whatever you carry on you, in your glove compartment, center console, somewhere. That way, if something happens, you have it for emergency personnel. For emergency situations. One of the things that saved my life, actually one of the only things that saved my life, was OnStar. I know it's a service that is provided, but when I had my wreck, that was the fastest way that I was able to have emergency personnel brought to my location specifically. And the area that I was in when I had my wreck was a dead zone. So kudos to OnStar for saving my life. Without you, I would not be here. So I'm not sponsored by them, but it would be nice. uh, so GPS contact information, um, just in case, and hospital phone, vehicle, whatever. Have all of that contact information updated regularly. That's something that we don't think about until emergency happens. So make sure that when, if you go to the doctor or whatever, make sure your contact information is updated. In your phone, make sure your contact or ICE is updated, as well as in the vehicle, just in case. Literally takes a few minutes. Just make sure. Shift bag, water and snacks, blankets, toilet paper, trash bags, or stuff that you could do for the emergency situation. And then we also talked about in driver's ed was DMV and the handbook online, and then having a maintenance list in your vehicle. Most people do go to locations to have their vehicles maintained, and they keep a listing. It's always good to have just a backup. If you don't go to a location and you have your own personal, just seeing the major things like oil changes, like you have to have an inspection, or you have to have your tags or taxes paid, or something having to do with the maintenance of the vehicle. Just have that in there. Then like I said, personal. Oh yeah, I have to write that in the maintenance list. Then gyms, cardio core, personal household for sale, meal plan, cleanup. I wrote apologize to the world, Chuck. That's funny. All right, so down to nightly routine slugging. Not everybody's into that. Some people say it's healthy, some people say it's not. Just basically like self-care. You could do it for your hair or your body. Also, update on sale titles or titles for social media, Mother's Day, Cinco de Mayo, and Memorial Day. Okay, so that is it for Fridays. Okay. So now we're on Saturdays. Oh, what? I guess I was out of order. Alright, it's just Friday and it just says the same things that I just said. So. Alright. Sunday. Saturday. Sound like that guy back in the day. Saturday. Oh, here's Friday. Another topic for driver's ed was design your dream vehicle. It's not a bad idea. We all need inventors. Special event planning. Right now, I don't have really anything, but I'm sure that usually I do Facebook events, and that's like local area. Kind of gives you a general idea of what to look at. from now that we're in, what would that be, May 2nd, making sure that